This is such a bad look for Meghan Markle. To have this woman come on the show after you've touted yourself as this rock star mom.
So that's Cynthia Wilson, crazy healthcare worker, full-time Meghan Duchess of Sussex hater. And her tag, crazy healthcare worker, fits. Because you really are crazy if you think anyone's gonna take you seriously with those busted teeth, that busted nose, and that busted attitude. Your reflection tells the whole story. Busted on the outside, corroded on the inside, and no filter strong enough to hide it. You sit there with that hoodie, ranting on your phone, like the world is waiting for your wisdom. Nobody's waiting. They're just watching you because you embarrass yourself for free. Your nose looks like it didn't survive a war. And the way you carry yourself, just a wreck. You come online spewing nastiness about Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. The only reason you can't stop dragging Meghan is because she embodies everything you'll never have. She's radiant, she's admired, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful in ways you can't even process. Meanwhile, you're just another basic, forgettable woman on TikTok, blending into the background like a dead houseplant. No one would even look twice at you, Cynthia. No one would ever think about you until you humiliate yourself on camera. You know when they look at you, what goes through their mind is, oh my goodness, that unfortunate nose. And she thinks drawing attention to it with that septum piercing is a look? It's bad enough it draws attention to your nose, but it also does your mouth no favors. Every clip you post reeks of jealousy. Just pure, stale resentment. You want to talk about optics? The optics are you, Cynthia. A woman whose insides are just as cracked as her outsides, trying to project her misery onto someone else. Meghan's not the problem. Your face is the problem. Your energy is the problem. You are the problem. So before you even dream about tearing down someone else, start fixing what screams the loudest. Your teeth, your attitude, your nose, and your whole presentation. Because nothing you say matters when you look and sound pathetic.
What a credit, JTB's brutal truth. Cynthia Wilson, exposed for her rotten obsession with Meghan Sussex. It began with a single post, a few sentences strung together with sharp precision and delivered with the kind of unapologetic clarity that slices through pretense. The internet is full of noise, but every now and then a voice cuts through the static. That voice belonged to JTB, a figure known for fearlessly confronting hypocrisy and for calling out those who thrive on bitterness disguised as commentary. Cynthia Wilson spends her days on TikTok dragging Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, while looking like a walking cautionary tale. Rotten energy, busted teeth, and no self-awareness. The only bad optics here are you, Cynthia. With those words, JTB didn't just critique Cynthia Wilson, he exposed her. And in doing so, he pulled back the curtain on a growing culture of individuals who weaponize their own envy against Meghan Sussex. The Duchess of Sussex has long been the target of relentless attacks, and yet instead of reasoned critiques or nuanced perspectives, voices like Cynthia's spill venom daily. What makes it worse is that these attacks aren't rooted in truth, but in envy. They aren't grounded in reason, but in insecurity. JTB's post spread like wildfire, with supporters of Meghan cheering the boldness. For once, instead of watching Meghan endure the ugliness of faceless detractors, the tables turned. The one dragging Meghan was herself dragged into the spotlight, her flaws magnified, her bitterness dissected. What Cynthia had long deflected onto Meghan was now pinned to her own name, and make no mistake, the internet noticed. Cynthia Wilson represents a new kind of antagonist in the age of social media. She doesn't have power, she doesn't have real influence. What she has is a platform where negativity thrives, where clicks and attention reward those who tear down others. In this digital ecosystem, her obsession with Meghan Sussex became her brand. Every video, every snide remark, every baseless insult directed toward the Duchess revealed not Meghan's flaws, but Cynthia's emptiness. What makes her critiques so hollow is the lack of substance behind them. Meghan's global impact is undeniable. An actress who stepped into one of the most scrutinized families in the world, endured relentless harassment, and emerged with dignity intact. Meghan's ventures, from Archwell to her recent business launches, carry influence and vision. Cynthia, on the other hand, has nothing to show except her fixation. JTB's drag cut so deeply because it highlighted what everyone already suspected. Cynthia's attacks on Meghan are projection. Rotten energy, busted teeth, and no self-awareness weren't just insults. They were descriptors of a life consumed by bitterness. Meghan represents success, resilience, and global admiration. Cynthia represents the opposite, someone unable to build, so she chooses to destroy. Someone unable to rise, so she spends her time pulling at others' ankles. But here's the reality. Envy is transparent. No matter how Cynthia tries to frame her attacks as commentary, it's obvious to anyone watching that she's motivated by jealousy. The elegance Meghan carries, the influence she wields, and the happiness she radiates stand in stark contrast to Cynthia's hollow bitterness. This isn't critique, it's a cry for relevance. The phrase liquid intelligence has been used to describe Cynthia Wilson's mental gymnastics, her ability to twist narratives, to bend facts, and to spew venom without a shred of evidence. But what JTB exposed is that liquid intelligence without grounding becomes nothing more than quicksand. Cynthia's words don't build, they sink. They trap her in a cycle of irrelevance, and worse, they reveal her desperation. For months, Cynthia's TikTok page has been filled with videos tearing down Meghan Sussex. Each one follows the same predictable pattern. Take an image of Meghan, find a flaw, magnify it, and broadcast it to her followers. But here's the problem. Meghan doesn't break. No matter how many times Cynthia tries to drag her down, Meghan's glow remains. Her achievements, her beauty, her family life with Harry, Archie, and Lilibet, none of it crumbles under the weight of bitter commentary. And that's what enrages Cynthia most. She cannot dent Meghan's image. She cannot stop her influence. She cannot erase her success. So she doubles down, pouring more negativity into a void that never fills. JTB's words hit hard because they reminded Cynthia and her followers that no matter how many hours she spends dragging Meghan, the only one looking foolish is her. Let us pause for a moment and reflect on Meghan Sussex. This is a woman who entered the British monarchy with optimism and was met with hostility. A woman who endured racism, sexism, and constant tabloid harassment. A woman who was accused of everything from breaking protocol to breaking families, while all she did was marry the man she loved and try to carve a space for herself in an institution that never truly welcomed her. And yet, Meghan thrives. She launches ventures that sell out in minutes. She influences fashion trends around the world. She inspires young women to embrace their voices and their power. Meghan is not just a duchess. She is a cultural icon, a woman whose presence sparks global conversations. Against this backdrop, Cynthia Wilson looks even smaller. Her bitterness is amplified not just because it is loud, but because it is futile. She cannot compete with Meghan's brilliance. She cannot diminish Meghan's impact. Her attempts to drag Meghan only highlight the contrast between someone who is building a legacy and someone who is wasting her energy in jealousy. This is the story JTB's words illuminated, and this is why Cynthia's dragging of Meghan will never matter. Cynthia Wilson may be one individual, but she represents a broader trend. Across social media, Meghan Sussex is subjected to coordinated campaigns of hate. Accounts with little credibility spend their days generating negativity, attempting to drown out Meghan's influence. But here's the twist. They only end up proving how powerful Meghan truly is. Think about it. If Meghan were irrelevant, why would so many dedicate their lives to attacking her? If she were unimportant, why would Cynthia Wilson spend every waking hour dragging her on TikTok? Envy is always loudest when it feels most threatened, and Meghan's success threatens those who thrive on bitterness. JTB's viral takedown is significant because it disrupts that cycle. For once, the critic became the criticized. For once, the spotlight turned, and those who feed on envy were forced to taste their own medicine. Cynthia Wilson's rotten energy was laid bare for the world to see. At the end of the day, the contrast is simple. Meghan Sussex shines because she has earned her place in history. She continues to influence culture, philanthropy, fashion, and business. Her legacy is still being written, and it grows brighter with each passing year. Cynthia Wilson, on the other hand, will be remembered for what she failed to do. She failed to build her own legacy. She failed to channel her energy into something meaningful. And now, thanks to JTB, she is immortalized as the woman whose envy was so transparent, it became her brand. The lesson is clear. Envy corrodes the vessel it's carried in. Meghan Sussex will keep rising while Cynthia Wilson sinks deeper into irrelevance. And history will always credit JTB for saying what needed to be said. The only bad optics here are you, Cynthia. To all my curious Sussex family, thank you all for watching, and do not forget to subscribe, like, and put a comment. Bye-bye, see you then in the comments section.